Welcome back. This is GameBreakers, a Bard's Tale, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game. I am here with Allison, David, and Diamond, and we are continuing this episode. We last left you as the camera zooms back in the infirmary as the ship careens towards the city of Isineth. You have 10 minutes or so to catch your breath, heal up. There are there's about 21 hit point potions. There are 10 2d8 potions and 6 5d8 potions. Do with that as you will. Abrila also offers some cure spells. She's like, I do have some healing magic. I'm using it for much else.
Now is a good time to use it.
Okay. No. Who should I work on first? Lovelace? Okay.
Like anyone who can see her can tell she is not well off.
I'm not sure that I know much about crab physiology, but it's obvious from the fact that you have feelings.
They're not supposed to leak.
Yeah. Her shell's all kinds of cracked and bruised. And
it's as pale as you've ever seen it.
Mm-hmm. It's not a shiny silver anymore.
You will get 48 back from a big shot. You see, she really works for that one.
So I'm gonna
totally
so that's 3d8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna take one of the 3d8.
Okay.
Thomas, the inspiration points we get from you, do those ever go away?
When you spend them, they're gone.
Then I have a couple more than I thought, because I was looking at the old sheet. I have 2 character sheets. Because this one got too messy and jumbled.
My pro tip is put it in a clear sleeve and do all the temporary writing in marker.
Yeah.
I'm in a pretty bad way, so I'm starting with a 5d8 and see where I feel from there, assuming my calculator works. Come on, thing. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a 5d8 as well.
Okay.
Because that
You're hurt.
didn't get me much.
You.
Ooh, 31. 3 8s on that.
As you're handing them out, you think, is it okay if I take it? And then you realize, wait a minute, I own all this shit. And then you think, wait a minute, I own all this. Oh, crap. I'm going to have to restock this later.
Basically. Plus, I'm not dead yet. I don't want anyone else to die either. Like, let's keep with the not dying.
I also barely spent any money since I met you.
You haven't spent money since you met me?
Barely. I've bought tinkering supplies, and that's kind of it.
One thing during this 10 minutes, everybody give me a wisdom check.
Come on, machine.
5.
3.
16.
16's good. I'm gonna actually have to roll for your wisdom dump Disney princess. She got a net of a 2. But a 16 will be enough, I think, for you, Struana, especially because you were the one that had the conversation with Bannon about what's up with the cyclone and back. If it is carrying all of the debris and all of the bits of the ship and all the stuff that was on it, Borannor's shield is in that cyclone.
Does that mean it's actively being? Are you saying we have a Sharknado? Is that
We
the
do
thing
now.
that you were saying, Thomas?
I didn't say whether or not it might be active. I left that to go the worst place your imagination could get it. But
I'm
it
very
is
disappointed.
something retrievable. I mean, it's a magic item.
Once I have taken some like, okay, I feel kind of better, and like wounds on my nose uncollapses. Pretty sure I took a hammer to the face at one
veins
point.
in your face stop throbbing. The blackness recedes.
I am going to engage with my cousin about
Okay.
the how to make the retrieval of that most effective, and that there might be dangerous stuff aboard. Also, a point of question, Thomas. I was reading Rod of Absorption, and I apparently have to actively be using it anytime there's a spell cast on me as a reaction.
Okay. Did you cheat
it
accidentally?
is- No, I haven't.
Okay.
I thought it just happened. So I've just been like, oh, okay, but I haven't used its power at all.
Okay.
But I also haven't been stating that I've been using its power because I thought that I didn't have to.
Well,
I thought it,
noted.
like,
Okay, well that's good to know in the future. I don't remember it ever being used or certainly not used pivotally. You guys have time to take a breath. Any other preps? Any other buffs you plan to activate? If not, as you're just like kind of catching your breath and processing what just happened in silence, the ship's whistle, I'm a terrible whistler, but goes off, and you're called to deck.
Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle.
As you're headed up and like coming up the stairs and onto the deck, the ship begins to like violently maneuver and is working hard.
so I'm gonna run up to deck now.
When you get up the deck, you see that I mean, proper protocols are you have a carabiner on your belt and you clip to the railing because you're often at a tilt. And as you're running up toward the bow, you can see, because you're banking downward, you are flying over the battle that is going on beneath you. There are flying Yuan-Ti sorcerers raining fire down from the skies. There are worms sprouting up from the ground, snatching at everything, coming down and smashing pockets of combat. There are armies of snake warriors and mummies clashing beneath you, hundreds. It's hard to really keep track of it all, even at this high vantage point. You are not completely out of the range of the worms either. What the ship is doing as you are called in is clearly banking around to make an approach at the mouth of the snake in the mountain, where the entrance to the dragon's lair resides. As you get up, Bannon is crouched and holding on to ropes and talking to gnomes and batten this down and do this thing, and you hear cannon fire from the side. Like they are beginning to fire at worms on the ground, giving them broadsides. You're also getting cheers from the sorcerers that are flying near you. You see them like raising their fists at you and giving you salutes. As you approach Bannon looks at you and like, you're sure this is the plan?
That's the
Before you
sound of
answer,
fun.
look there. And you, everybody give me a perception test.
16.
8.
10.
At 8 and 10, what you see is what looks like a fireworks show going on behind the fangs of the massive stone snake. ClickClack, what you can pick out is that the whirling, flashing lights are all centered around a lithe, serpentine form that you recognize. It is the Abatus in combat. Awkward.
I say that over the earpiece.
No. No.
Okay, I'll set my hammer to stun.
She is fighting mummies. You can see blazing contacts with mummies. The rags go flaming around her. You are approaching hot and fast, and as Bannon points it out, he's like, "Do you need backup? Should I stay with the ship?"
Probably. Almost definitely.
And Abrila just kind of looks at you with great big doughy eyes, like it's adventure.
Wait, what just happened?
Abrila.
He asked if we need backup, and I said yes.
So Abrila is the one who after he nods, gives you like the big doe eyes, like adventure.
Well, also possibly certain death. But I mean, you know. So I quick like what it was like fighting the Abatus when we did.
I will keep clear and just help you as much as I can. I mean, I've got some spells. I've still got illusions left.
Do you have anything that keeps her from being able to land blows or move in? Because that's where she's dangerous. It's close, you know.
I mean, maybe she's. I don't know. I can try. What? Aren't you guys on
Also,
the same side?
Can she make herself invisible?
Yeah, I can do that.
I recommend you stay invisible as long as possible.
I could still make you guys all invisible. I can still do one of those today.
oh gosh, maybe getting in there invisible is the best way to get in there right now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're getting locked up in.
Point of order. The dragon can probably see through invisibility.
That's fine. We know where the dragon sleeps.
Right, but if we approach him invisible, that reads as deception and up to something.
But he's like trapped right now, so.
Okay.
Don't give the GM ideas, man. Come on.
He has his own ideas.
I know, it's awful.
So, you come in hot and fast. How are you guys making your entrance? She will cast invisibility. She casts. It's a regular old invisibility. She lets you know, like if you attack, it will drop.
So we have like. I need a visual of what it like. We're going up to what is a cobra's mouth, and can we like get the airship close and then just step off, or do we need to like have a ladder? Do we need to hang glide in? Like I don't.
You have about 30 seconds to make the call. You're coming in at high speed. They're gonna be banking in. They can take you as close as possible. If you want them to stop, they can try, but they're gonna be vulnerable.
I don't want them to stop. I'd rather we just do this at a run.
Okay.
Like, dramatic. Everyone up for that?
Yup.
Are you making us invisible?
We are made invisible by Abrielle.
I don't know if this would break the invisibility or not, but before she does that, I enlarge Lovelace.
It would not break invisibility.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Everybody, get your buffs in. You're coming in hot. As you're coming in, you also see below you a worm springing up out of the sand, and you see a familiar figure at the head of it, wielding a lance.
Mostly
What-
jumping.
What
Acrobatics,
kind of distance do we have to clear?
What's that?
What kind of distance do we have to clear?
It's going to be about 20 feet to get clear of the fangs.
There's like, I'm really hoping that like the ship has someone on it who's shooting at Borannor. Like, come on, guys. We talked about how important this is. I would hope there's someone up there who's just gonna try and hit him with an arrow.
This is Borannor, by the way.
No, this is our driver friend from earlier.
This is your Goliath chum. No, this one is Ambrock coming up on his worm to wreck this ship. And yes, he is currently the target of cannon fire on that giant worm.
We're not letting the ship slow down enough to get caught. Like,
Okay.
we're running. I have acrobatics exactly for this sort of thing.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
Did you ever play Black Flag? Well, there's many scenes where you jump from one ship to another ship. Variously.
Assassin's Creed Black. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing we're going for now,
Right.
only there's a roll on the other end instead of a stabbing the guy in the neck on the other end.
Right, Ninja Pirates.
But-
Yeah, there's absolutely swing ropes. Like that's Bannon's preferred method.
Yep.
When he comes with you, he actually like swings his whip to grab a fang and swings himself in that way.
Nice. Okay. What, do we do it? Do we roll to do it?
Roll to do it.
22.
You
Yeah.
do it.
20.
You do it. Stan, did you do it?
Athletics?
I would accept
Acrobatic.
Acrobatics. Athletics will do if it's just a straight old broad jump. Acrobatics will take less damage at the end.
All right, I'll do acrobatics. 12.
Okay. So Stan, you are going to take, so here's what's going to happen. The acrobatics folks are going to take 4 bludgeoning damage, except for Stan, who did not quite clear the fangs and is going to take 9 piercing.
Ouch.
Take
Oh, like landing on a picket fence.
a lot like landing on a big stone sharp picket fence. Yeah.
That sounds. I'd say that sounds very uncomfortable, but I'm pretty sure I've done that, and it is in fact very uncomfortable.
Right. So much so that you couldn't instantly remember it because your brain's like, no, we don't want that one pulled back.
We had to
It's amazing I didn't break more things as a child.
All right. So you all jump and tumble in, and it's only about 45 feet in front of you that you can see the abatus. With incidentally, there's 2 other seemingly lesser skilled monks there with her, fighting through just mummy after mummy. There are a pile of them beneath her, most of them like half desiccated or, disintegrated on one piece. She's sweating.
I'm sneaking.
Yes.
I mean, like, I see this, but I'm just trying to, like, move around the edges of what's going on here and keep going, the direction that appears to be the direction we should go.
Okay. It's not hard to see what it is because about 50 feet past her at the uvula, it's not sculpted all the way through like that, but there is a choke point at one point, and there in the darkest place is mounted a massive mirror. In the mirror, you can see frozen in place a blue dragon. Not nearly as impressive as Flumienweir, by the way. Little, like the size of a Clydesdale, rather than a building.
We might not have any way of knowing this, but is this actual size or just what he's been reduced to in the mirror? We have no way of knowing. All right, sorry. Continue.
Check. I mean, you do know that the dragon is younger than Flumienweir. It makes sense it would be smaller.
I mean, I'm going to make an Arcana check anyway to know anything at all about the spell.
Okay.
So. 23. Yes.
What you most immediately recognize is the craftsmanship around the ridge, or around the frame of the mirror, and at the pedestal at the base that holds it. You recognize that from the portal apparatus that Escrion Keybinder created. This seems to be the other half of it. It looks to be, with that kind of roll, the area behind it is not reflected. There is sort of an ultraviolet pulse behind it, and you can see that from that into the to the base of the portal, there is a shadow of the dragon being cast here. This is probably something to do with creating the shadow dragon that Borannor wanted to do, and that is probably some sort of pocket dimension within the shadow plane, from what you gleaned from Escrion's notes and what Sangrid told you, and just what you're seeing in front of you. That's your best guess with that roll. Can everybody give me stealth rolls to get through to, if you would like to approach closer than the abattis?
27.
19.
I have a plus 10 to stealth, so
Nice.
that helps.
Stan, is that with your plate mail disadvantage?
I don't know. I just had a +2.
Okay. In plate mail, you roll disadvantage for stealth.
Oh, all right. 11.
Okay.
22.
Okay. So in the heat of combat, the abattis clearly looks directly at each of you and just kind of narrows their eyes, but doesn't move to attack. And there are a couple times, Stan, when as you're moving around a clot of mummies that are coming her way, there's one that will stop and look up, and she immediately will just dart that one in the side of the head, and no, over here.
The enemy of my enemy. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
She remembers you saying something about needing to defeat Borannor and protect the dragon.
We don't have to agree on anything else.
Now is not the time for a debate on your trustworthiness.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, she's keeping the zombies busy, and I mean they are no match for her individually or in bulk, but she is. I mean, it's an endurance test.
So let's. I'm gonna start heading to the mirror, and if I can can I re-stealth to, I want to say something to these guys in the earring. Do I need to make another stealth check to not be heard?
No, that's
Or-
fine. As long as you're clear of where where the mummies are kind of holding the line in the mouth of the snake. You've climbed up the tongue fairly stealthily, and all of their attention is focused on the monks assaulting them from the mouth.
I think we need to break that mirror.
You guys are able to approach the base as long as you kind of maintain your quietness. The abbess continues to hold her own. She's not able to really gain any ground. There's just too many of them, but she knew that coming in.
Do I have any problem with the I can re-roll an Arcana check? I think that breaking the mirror is going to be this will probably work if we break the mirror. So is there something to roll to see if I think that's the case or not?
I would give Arcana.
$18.
Okay. As you're examining the mirror and you're getting closer, you realize there's not actually a surface on it. It is the look of a clear surface, but it's more just the interaction. It's more like surface tension on the bubble of the plane than an actual physical barrier.
It's not a glass mirror.
Right. It's like when you still have the bubble blower on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
The frame is like that, and it's got a membrane.
So we need to pop the membrane. Following this analogy through.
Are you sure they won't just free the dragon or kill the dragon or anything like that?
Nope.
Oh, well then.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
well, invisibility is only gonna drop if I attack a thing, right? Not if I throw a rock at a bubble.
Right.
Okay. I just want to see what happens if I throw a stone at the bubble.
Okay. I'll call that not an attack. You're just flipping a pebble.
Yeah.
It goes in and sort of hits it and sort of absorbs in, and then you see it float into the space inside on the other side of the frame.
Okay. What?
I don't think this is something that's easily ruptured. Because there's a dragon inside.
The dragon appears sleeping or something, though, right?
It is frozen in mid wing beat.
Do you guys remember these weird toys that existed at least when I was 13 and 12 or something, that were basically gelatin and you put characters in them? You remember that? That's what we have, is that, I think.
You'd make a diorama because it would be floating in the clear gelatin.
Yeah.
They had Star Wars ones.
I had a unicorn scene one, but yeah. That's what this is reminding me of. And that's how do you destroy that? you pull the thing out. So how do we pull the dragon out of the bubble universe?
So now we're freeing the evil dragon.
Yes, we're freeing the evil dragon because that's better than Borannor winning. That's not ideal, but it's... Also, he might help us take out Borannor. Who knows?
Then we have to fight an evil dragon.
No, we don't.
We don't?
No, we don't. We don't want to be meddling in their politics any more than we have to.
It's not gonna just attack us because it's an evil dragon?
Nope, because we know where it sleeps.
That was the code word in Draconic that you were given by Flumianweir that lets you know you're in on the dragon's secret.
Gotcha.
And
all right.
So, yeah.
I don't, well, I mean, I kind of do, but I don't really know Arcana. That's your department in this group?
Well, I mean, it's the pulling him out, and it's the, like... I don't really know what to do.
I mean, my best idea is a grapple arrow, but I don't think that'll work.
Well, that's a better idea than I have, which is to roll history checks till I figure something out that might work.
The battle rages on behind you.
Speaking of which...
Tell me what to do, boss.
24 for a history check, just to, like... I'm gonna have to, like, GM... I need you to be a little bit of, like, offloaded memory for me, because I don't have as thorough of a knowledge of D&D universe. I don't know if this is homebrew. I don't know if this is something you've given me enough hints that I am supposed to already know about. But I'm, like, stuck.
Nope, this is something foreign. This is something that crazy planar son of a bitch that you murdered had put together. Your best bet for planar stuff is religion. The best bet for, I mean, maybe the magical construction part of it is going to be Arcana. If anybody else wants to propose other maybe checks, I'm open to suggestion. It's D&D. I see a lot of grimaces and sad faces.
So I have a 19 Arcana and only a 14 religion. Ugh.
Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
The actual apparatus itself is consuming and passing a lot of arcane energy. It's a ground for a massive spell, and it's not gonna last indefinitely. Like it's built to burn out probably sometime within the next hour. At which case, what you have determined to be basically a very small demi-plane, which is somehow altered to keep the dragon in check, that will collapse and the dragon will perish or cease to exist.
Okay, so we do need to get it out of there and maybe overload it. It's Jello stuck. Is that pebble still going forward?
Very slowly, almost imperceptibly.
Yeah, but that was just like a little toss.
Yeah.
I'm tying a rope to a grapple arrow until I'm told otherwise.
Nope, I think that is a good starting point idea. Do I think that I can overload the spell?
You did notice from the construction was that it was intentionally placed in a point in the area where there is no way for sunlight, reflected or otherwise, to reach this point.
Okay.
This is the darkest part of this area, and past there, there presumably are some sort of light shafts as you go into the dragon's lair proper.
Well, I wonder if light would help. I'm gonna wait until ClickClack fires that arrow, though.
Okay.
I lost the hook at the end of my rope when Borannor cut it, so now my 100-foot rope is 98 feet. So I'm full on manually tying the rope onto the end of an arrow. I hand it to Stan to pull the knot tight because he's stronger than me.
Well, one thing, you guys are all still invisible to each
Yeah.
other as well.
Clear. Right. Stan, get ready to smash some zombie heads.
Yeah. Sweet.
Blind sight sees invisibility, right?
It has the chance to perceive it. I think it takes away the maybe might strip some disadvantage that you would normally get from it. Right, negates some of the.
I'm
some of
just
the
trying to hand a rope to Stan for a second.
Blind sight is plenty to do that.
Then I know exactly where he is.
Okay.
Stan, pull this tight for me.
You find it.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast light on that arrow as it's flying.
All right.
Okay.
Grapple arrow, aiming for the nice broad side of the dragon barn.
Right.
Clack.
Okay. It hits the bubble, I assume, kind of at an angle because you're staying off to the side, and when it does, you can see that it immediately just loses momentum and it's like floating almost weightless with near no velocity. It is still casting light as long as you're concentrating on that, and that will.
That is not a concentration spell.
Oh, okay. Well, no problem then. So everybody, give me perception or investigation because it's going to unfold over time, whichever you like better. Stan, how'd you do? Stan, how'd you do
14.
on that perception?
26.
18, 26.
7.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, Stan, you're busy making sure that none of that fight spills over back toward you guys. You're watching the monk do her thing, but the two that are eyes on the experiment, you both see that while there's no real effect on the apparatus or the thing, you can see that the shadow that is cast of the dragon into the real world has just a little pinprick of light that's almost like a reflection, a little mote of light passing through it, where the arrow, kind of tracking where the arrow is.
Passing through the shadow form of the dragon.
Yeah.
That is. And when you say, so in my head, we've got this big, evil mirror that we can see into, and the shadow dragon is on the ground, or is it just opposite?
It's on the ground. It's the shadow that is being cast of the frozen dragon backlit.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes. I was seeing a 3-dimensional shadow.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong. Like there is more dimension to it, especially as you're seeing this little tiny glitter pass over. There is more dimension to it than a natural shadow. It is currently something more.
Can I knowledge Arcana again? I just don't know what the heck's happening.
I would give a re-roll to the religion side of it.
Okay.
And if anybody else has religion and wants to give her advantage by teamworking that, feel free.
Teamwork.
That it. Yes. That advantage was a natural 20, which puts me at 23, which is like, I love this song. I'm not dead. And I got a 20.
So you start on
I better
one
start
thinking,
rolling on.
and ClickClack's just like, no, that's stupid. You're like, oh, you're right.
Your grasp of my character is remarkable.
Right, don't mean to speak for you. Just so what you conclude over your quick back and forth is that this is essentially the soul of the dragon trapped in a shadow. Its body is held apart from it by something. It must be something on the other side. Meanwhile, its soul is stuck here waiting for something else to happen. Which is probably not going to happen because you killed the mage that was supposed to do it.
But now it's trying to get the dragon out, and that's not bad, and I don't know how to get the dragon out, but we're trying grapple.
With a natural 20, there's a good chance that just destroying the apparatus is not going to yield favorable results.
But we got that from the last one.
There's going to have to be a deactivation.
How long until the arrow hits him?
A very long time. It is moving. It's at what might be best described as a drift. It would be minutes at least.
Gonna ask Abrila if she can dispel, like, her, like, like,
I can
we
try.
have.
This is very powerful. I will try, if that's what you want.
I don't know how else we can do it, and I don't have any good dispel, make it stop things, so that's fun.
And you know what? She is gonna make a quick Arcana test. So she also suggests if we weaken it, I have a better chance at dispelling it. And with what you said about sunlight, she points at the abatis and says, the powers of the snakes from her monastery, of the Yuan Ti that practice her martial arts, are based on the sun. They radiate actual solar energy. It's possible that she may be able to help. As she points and brings her attention over there, by the way, one of the like student Yuan Ti falls, like goes down, and there's just a clot of mummies just curb stomping right there for a second, and then they all move on and start on the other two.
I hope that Abriel can see my face with the dawning realization and impress, like, oh man, that's a good idea. Like, I hope that she's getting what she wants.
Sunlight or just light?
The closest thing to sunlight that we're gonna find for 12 hours is...
Yeah.
Right, does it have to be sunlight, or can it just be light?
I'm gonna sneak back over there.
There's a certain attune, a overtone to radiant energy that specifically combines with the plane of shadow differently
Gotcha.
than a candle would, like light from a flame in a planar sense. And she begins like in the middle of all this, like having sort of a philosophical conversation, like she's getting lost in it.
Edit later.
Starts to
I'm
reference
gonna-
a book.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sorry.
I'm gonna sneak back over there.
Okay. And she prepares herself for the dispel.
I'm gonna sneak over to one of the. I don't want to fight all these mummies. I want to get the abattis or one of the other Yunkai.
They are completely surrounded.
Yeah. Gosh dang it! All right, I think. Hold on. I have message. We have message.
Right. You
Like
could enter
looking at my.
initiative.
I have message. I can send her a message.
Okay.
We have a plan. Get over here. We need your light. I haven't looked up. I haven't never used message. Give
I
me a
believe she
second.
can give a short reply.
Yes.
You each get,
You
like,
point your
12
finger
or-
towards a creature within range, which is 120 feet, and whisper a message. The target and only target hears the message and can reply in a whisper only that you can hear.
Okay. That is the whisper that is returned. Is if I come to you, they will come with me.
It's a cantrip. That means I can cast it multiple times. This is fun. We need your sunlight to weaken this and free Duneharrow.
This will be the first time I've ever trusted someone twice. Do not
Are you-
betray me again.
Are you communicating any of this to the rest of us?
No, I skipped that step. Sorry.
I'm way better at fighting a large group of small things than one big thing.
But I like, let me finish the thing here.
Okay.
And like, okay, the abattis is she's gonna come over and try to, I don't know, light up this party. But we're gonna have a million mummies while she does her work. Y'all ready for this?
Completely.
So, the abattis takes
Message was useful.
and as she is defending and throwing blows and elbows and darts and moving and whirling, she stops amid the fray, and you see her and her pupil just lock eyes and nod to each other, and he takes a defensive stance, and she leaps up to the roof of the mouth and runs toward you.
Awesome. I'm putting a bonfire, wherever it seems like a good idea to put one based on the location of people here
All
to
right.
slow down the attacking mummies.
So
We
didn't
don't have
make
a map.
because I didn't know this was where you were gonna end up. But we're gonna describe it as about 30 feet wide. That is basically a curved throat of a snake with a tongue carved in it. It's a playground slide. So
And where are the mummies and where is the mirror?
there are humanoid-sized steps on either side, and the mirror is at the back of the throat, right about where the snake would choke on it.
And the mummies are on the stairs?
The mummies, about half of them followed what the abattis did and have started to run back toward the stairs and charge up the ramp, which is, how deep did I describe it? About 90 feet total.
Okay.
She has drawn them, as you guys have been working on this. She's been giving ground and drawing them back toward the entrance to keep the combat away from you guys. So they have 90 feet to cross of difficult uphill terrain. They're going to be moving at half speed, unless the stairs, I don't know, climbing. Yeah, we'll call it half speed.
Hey, we remember zombie bowling, you guys. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This shit is what I'm built for, not that fighting a Death Knight stuff.
All right. Well, then, while everyone is rolling dice for initiative and prepping all their shenanigans, getting themselves set in place, and me getting ready for a combat that I wasn't really sure what was gonna happen this game, we're gonna take a break. This is GameBreakers. We are having fun with Dungeons and Dragons: A Bard's Tale, and if you like it, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, and if you want it to get better, hit up our Patreon. Thanks for watching. See you in a minute. Have a good game.